All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. After the World Bank and India's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, another financial institution has now projected a severe contraction, that is a negative growth for the Indian economy for the forthcoming fiscal year. Now, the International Monetary Fund expects India's gross domestic product to contract by about minus 10.3% for the financial year 2020-2021. And this is because, to a very large extent, it claims, because of the lockdowns brought about by the coronavirus. And this has, in fact, made the Indian economy plummet to record levels, especially in the first quarter, where India's economy had contracted by minus 23.9%. Now, it is also being said that the Indian economy is likely to rebound by registering about 8.8% growth in the next financial year, that is in 21-22. In its biannual World Economic Outlook report, IMF has said that all emerging markets and developing economies are expected to contract this year, including the emerging economies of Asia, such as India and Indonesia, that will continue to contract in this pandemic till the time they bring the pandemic under control. Now, in its last forecast in the month of June, the IMF has said that the GDP was weaker than projected in India, where domestic demand has plunged following a very sharp compression in consumption and also a collapse in investment.
In our latest World Economic Outlook, we continue to project a deep recession in 2020. Global growth is projected to be minus 4.4%, which is a small upgrade from June. We have a significant downgrade for India's growth for the fiscal year 2021. It's minus 10.3%. The hit to the economy has been large and pretty much broad-based, and you saw that in the April, May, June months. So this has been a very hard hit.
All right, that was one of the chief economists of the IMF, Gita, Gopinath, there reading out her projection of the Indian economy. Remember, the Indian GDP had contracted by a jaw-dropping minus 23.9% in the April to June quarter, making it the worst performing economy amongst the G20 countries. The Reserve Bank of India has predicted that the economy will contract by about minus 9.5% for the fiscal year 2020-2021, with a mild expansion that is expected in the economic activities in the March quarter. While the World Bank has also made a similar projection that India's economy will contract by about minus 9.6% for the same fiscal year. The IMF has also pretty much said that there will be a contraction, overall contraction of about minus 4.4% in 2020 than what it had earlier envisaged in the month of June at about minus 5.2%. Without naming India, the IMF chief economist Gita Gopinath said that the emerging markets and the developing economies are managing this crisis with a lot fewer resources, as many are constrained by elevated debt and higher borrowing costs.